Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 15th NFL season. Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering live. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, two were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be brought out by their 24-year-old quarterback in his third year now at the helm of the Cowboys, Dak Prescott.
The numbers he put up as a rookie, outstanding. But really, truly sustainable. Remember, they were 13-3 his rookie season. They're going 9-7 in 2017. How about they went from 4 interceptions in 2016 as a rookie to 13 his second year? These are numbers that you didn't expect to stay the same. But I do expect Dak Prescott to continue to get better and better as a quarterback in the NFL.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end,
Still first down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
looking to throw. Prescott. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Coney Ely able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now Prescott. As he throws there, incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and that takes us from second to third down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the quarter. Once get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll bring it down here up at about the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bring fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-up to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That's 10 on the 25. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So here are the Giants ready to start today. initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
He had the number of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So, obviously, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now Manning. He gets it off to Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Great time to focus on a healthy group pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just any threesome in the NFL. 2 terrific wide receivers and a 10 that's hard to cover.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's going to met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. Let's look at the defensive starters now for Dallas. They enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. You've got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. A first down carry for Barkley. That play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with 3rd and 8.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Manning. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. It took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Now they'll throw it with Manning. Throwing, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's third down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Here's Manning to throw. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that third down pass. Brings up fourth.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just, you know, they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Elliott. They find some open field here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down to 39. The numbers for Zeke from last week. You see the numbers last week for Davis. In the end, not enough to help get him the victory.
And as we look forward to this week, don't you just get the sense that he's going to get the ball a little bit more? I mean, that's just how it reads to me. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
Well, they talked about that with us this week. That's going to be a priority for them.
Give him the ball, let him do his thing.
Prescott on first down. Now he'll escape to his right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger. His penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked
Personal
on.
foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good. So good, he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them, not easily.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these short gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the field, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy most likely to bring him down. That was a nice game.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. They keep it with Barkley first down, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They fake the handoff. Now Manning trying to lay one up deep. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Manning, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. DeMarcus Lawrence coming in for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tab, what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He can run for it, and he will. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. A look up to the scoreboard as time has run out on this first quarter. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. And they've got it here with a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push it way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Gives to Elliott. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. Doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And a 3rd down pass incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense takes field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The false start backs up 5, 1st and 15. Here's a give to Barkley. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. Throwing now is Manning. His throw incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Giants on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun. Manning. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them.
A very nice job on back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A give to Elliott. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
In order to play run defense, when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, those tackle, and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Out of the gun. Scott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
Give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a touchdown for him, too.
He's going to go deep for Beasley. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now a handoff, running off tackle. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, Manning. And his throw here's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be getting rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Manning throw. That's caught by his tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those type of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Now those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What would Big Al was thinking on draft night? Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games, just sit together watching. Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that's about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giant tattoo?
Yeah, wants to make that a Giants tattoo. And that family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talked about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and touchdown.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I would say it would probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Manning again on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. The Giants on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun. Man, it's caught. Shepard. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run for Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now Manning. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Manning now on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you know their section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. They start on the ground with Elliott. And this is a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Alec Ogletree in on the stop. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Prescott now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do it now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy with 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one too.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Super tough.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And that is incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football. You can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was
pulled in at the 24. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with out of downs. Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good. Playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big run that time by Elliott. 56 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try to run with Elliott. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Try to punch it in with Smith. And this is not going to do it good as he stopped at the 2-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This is 3rd and goal. This Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. Here we go now with Smith. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that'll open the lead to a touchdown now at 13-6. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Manning. And that will be incomplete with a clock going 18 seconds now to go. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the concept has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit. Only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Manning now, first down, incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Manning, he's got his man. It's Brandon Coleman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Andy Dalton, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Matt Ryan, 3 touchdown passes as his guys bounced back from the defeat on opening weekend. And finally on Monday night, a good one in the NFC. Seahawks, Bears from Soldier Field. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they're pretty positive with it.
And he's hit and despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. A handoff to Barkley. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long, running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the green, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. Rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up it.
This is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play to the game.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does he get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
How fun will it be to watch Barkley and Elliott go at it twice a year? Here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
To throw, it's Manning. Incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And the play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Prescott carrying it out for Hearns. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. 3rd and long for Prescott. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Giants. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I hope he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must be a heck of a halftime speech.
Maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. And now that good for 22 and a 1st down.
Yeah, he was the first back taken in the draft. Ended up going number 2 to the Giants, and there is never a doubt that he would be the first runner off the board. We just saw why. His ability with the ball in his hands to turn a nice little game into something big. He makes plays no matter how you get him the ball.
Running game working. They'll stick with on 1st down. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Getting to throw on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 34. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always have the Cowboys rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Return team.
Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
This is Elliott, and he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here you go. Hey, kill.
They go to Elliott again, and he loses yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you get success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Prescott to throw it. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. 51 yards on the punt there. And New York set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a field goal that they got 3 points out of. They got to feel good about that. They better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can get significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps plays.
Now Saquon Barkley. Pretty nice aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. It's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Barkley. Sheds a 2nd man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
Touchdown number 1 of the NFL career for young star Saquon Barkley. As his guys are back within a single score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. Touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short. And they'll come up empty on the try for 2. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Prescott down. And incomplete here on down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
This is take 18. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And New York set to take the field. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. This is Barkley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be hit up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Looking left side, he's got a man. It's Shepard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a pickup of 6 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Manning now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Manning. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Manning going to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Now Manning. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time. Sack. Taco Charlton in there to drop it for his 2nd sack now here tonight. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Shotgun now for Manning. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open to throw.
They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They're perfectly executed cross route. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
To throw is Manning. He's got it. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his first touchdown of the new season. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still have a little time to work it out with the doctor.
They'll try and run it here, and he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense. The biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Rosas now to kick this one away. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. He'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit. A lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down the playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex. Try and fashion together a drive.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline, sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it, Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Cowboys on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun. Here's Scott. And he finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses, understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown, their last goal. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in Mrs. Bythema Bagley used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now on the bootleg. And Ingram holds it in. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a 1st down as well. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
No matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball, he has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's Manning to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Manning now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Barkley. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also on the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loaded box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And the Giants' all-time leader in passing yards and completions and touchdowns, just another connection.
No doubt about it. That's the Eli Manning we know, pushing the ball downfield and with proficiency.
In the red zone now, Manning. And he's got his man. Beckham, touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. AT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Rosas now to kick this one away. Here's Thompson on the return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's down at about the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Man open left side. It's Williams. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And give him a gain of 37.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for his first down.
Throwing. Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 yards for number 11. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a play make here on first down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
They'll take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
A second down throw for Prescott. The screen to Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Oh, he's got wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, marker. Desperation time. He's got on 4th. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Martin coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for a strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Alex Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
False start. Offense.
Going to set them back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Throwing now is Manning. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 14 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Manning, and that is incomplete.
Perhaps they up this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Prescott. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. He'll get the penalty yardage back exactly, 10 yards, as they'll get it to 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
46.
Prescott. Forced out to his left. Fighting through pressure. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're dead. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflected.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off around the 41. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme. I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for the Giants, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on Texans. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.